Hey guys, Chip here, and today I want to talk about how we can create our own decals using KPACK Pro. So first I'm going to go into a new scene. I'm going to select this cube. I'm going to go in and basically grab an edge, Control B to bevel it, and I'm going to move this up, say somewhere around 30. That'll be good. Something like this. And then tab out of it. You see it's nicely smooth shaded. Next, I am going to choose this decal. Now I've got a bunch of these decals in my new Design Magic set of KPACKs, and I'll be shipping that later this month. But I'm going to give you this one decal so you can use it to create other decal inserts for KPACK. Let's show you how we do that. First, I want to talk about the decal and its properties. So I'm going to add this insert on this decal, and I'll use the mouse button to scroll it up and down, and notice I have auto scale insert is turned off, and I like it say something like that. Now you notice that it's not actually wrapping around that surface very well, but if you look over here in the modifier properties, you'll see that we have a shrink wrap modifier, and we just click this target and click here, and now it works perfectly, and not only in Eevee but in Cycles as well. Okay, so now let's talk about the properties of this. I'm going to go in the shader editor, and first thing, I can change the color by just clicking over here and giving it a different color, and that's really straightforward. The second thing is that right now it's an emissive decal, so it's kind of glowing. If I want to turn that off, I'll go to this principal BSDF shader and hook it to the bottom of this mix shader, and now it's not glowing anymore. Now notice we're going to see a bunch of lines here. I'm going to right click on say shade smooth, and it goes away nicely. So there we have that. So let's go ahead and make this kind of a grayish decal, and let's say I want to make it a little bit eroded. So I have this decal erode node group here, and I'm going to just add a little bit of that to this, and you can see as I do that, it basically erodes it till it's completely gone. So I can, again, set that however I like. And as you can see, again, it works both in Eevee and in Cycles. Now that's done, I also may want to make this metallic. So I'm going to select it. And in this material, I'll just grab the metallic and move it all the way to the right. And in the roughness, I'll move it almost all the way to the back. And so now you can see we've got a metallic material. So that's what you can do with this decal. So one thing to know is that when you purchase a decal KPACK, it has all these features built in. And why is that? It's because vendors use KPACK's batch to create them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go back into KPACK, and here I am in this Sir Charles Urban Graffiti. He's got a bunch of KPACKs, by the way. Just check them out on Gumroad, Sir Charles. Lots of great decals. So let's just grab, one of these. We'll grab something like, let's take this one right here, and I'm going to add it to this object and scroll it up and down, and I can hold the Alt key down and move it if I want to. And once I've gone in here, you look in here, and again we have this erode, and we can come in here and start to erode this as much or as little as we want. As I mentioned, if you look at KPACK's batch, this works with KPACK Pro to create lots of different kinds of inserts. It'll actually generate thumbnails for all of your inserts. It will convert OBJ file format into inserts, and there's an experimental feature where you can batch export all of the different objects or collections in your existing scene file. And there's all kinds of things you can do there. And then we have this section called decals, and we can choose a template, and it comes with 3 different templates, one for emissive, one for metallic, and one for regular decals. So this tool is what is used to take a whole folder of PNG files with transparent alpha channels, and it converts them all into a full KPACK of decal inserts with just a single click of a button. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create our own custom decal. I'm going to select everything and hit X and delete everything. I have a blank scene. I can grab all this. Literally nothing in the scene right now. Now I'll go into KPACK, and I'm going to grab that one decal that we talked about, and I'm just going to add the insert with nothing selected. So there it is. And it's exactly as we saw it when we first imported it. So let's go into our shader editor. And the first thing we want to do is we're going to rename our material. So instead of battery, I'm going to call this one batch logo. And why is that? Well, because I'm going to grab this KPACK batch 1K trans.ping image. And if I look at that, it looks like this. It's got this red RGB channel, and there's nothing in the background. And I can use multiple colors as long as I have an alpha channel. And the alpha channel is really going to only be used to let something come through. So for instance, I could use something like this K-Cycles logo as well, and it's got an alpha channel, and you can see the alpha channel for that logo. But we're going to use the KPACK batch 1K trans ping. Okay, we're back in here. So what I'll do is I'll go in here, I'll delete this, and now I'll say open, and I'll find that file that I was looking for. Here it is. say open image, and you'll see it came in, but it's stretched kind of funny. So you can notice that the aspect ratio is not correct. First thing we're going to do is we're going to change the color. And so if I turn this color on off, all the way off, now I've got it set where it uses the actual RGB channel and not an override color. So now that's complete. Next, I want to make sure that I get this the correct aspect ratio. So how do I do that? So first I need to understand how big this image file is. So I'm gonna click over here on this node, and if I click on this little arrow, this will pop up, or I hit the N key to toggle this, and I'll come into the properties for this, and you'll see it's 1024 by 766. So I'm gonna come up here, and I'm gonna go all the way to the top, and in the item, I'm going to set this to, instead of 1024, I'll just move the decimal point around a little bit. So instead of 512 by 512, I'm going to say 1.024 and then tab 0.766. So it's the same ratio, and that works. Now the problem is you can see our scale is off at this point. So now I'll have to go in and say object, apply scale. And once I've done that, this is 1 and these are the numbers. Now it's just a simple matter to come into KitOps. I'm going to try and create an insert, but it says it's dimmed. That's because I have to save this file before I can do that. So I'll just power save this, and then I'll say create insert, and here's our insert, and I'll save it, and I'll put it in a folder where I want it to be, name it, and save it. And now that it's saved, I'll go and say camera to insert, and then I'll hit the numpad 0 key so I can see it. Then I can rotate this around if I like, but I also can just take that image and put it directly in the same folder if I want. Either way works. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. I need to go under view and make sure I lock the camera to view, and then I'll hold the shift key down, and that's what it's going to look like. If I want to, I can turn off the factory floor here, and that's what it'll look like. So now I can just say render thumbnail, close factory scene. And that's really all there is to it. So if I go now and create a new, and I'll come into my decals, and you'll see that here's my new decal. And if I add the insert, it pops right on there. And it comes with all the shrink wrap modifiers and everything as we had before. I'll share this decal with you, and you can then use it as a basis to create your own KitOps decals. By the way, remember, you'll need KitOps Pro to do this. And if you want to do a whole bunch of them at one time, then use KitOps Batch. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you online.